Hello, everybody. Welcome to NUFC Talk TV. We are live with another match reaction of Newcastle United's match. And I'm actually very excited, very content, very happy about what happened today on the pitch. You have to say, you have to give in and say this was an Eddie Howe masterclass, started in 11 masterclass, in my opinion. Um, I've been saying that Eddie Howe really, as far as the lineup, starting lineup was concerned, I didn't have any issues with it. It's about the changes that he was doing on the pitch that caught me off guard. Um, tonality for long stuff, etc., all that, blah blah blah. And but today he made changes, and I thought in the preview I said, and in the build up, I'm not happy with the lineup. Now listen, I'm not excited about Longstaff starting. I don't think he should start anyway. But that aside, I thought it was a very, very good lineup from Eddie Howe, who we know that doesn't make any changes. Really, let's be honest, he doesn't. But today he did, and in the press conference he says, "I have to be adaptable." And maybe he was already, um, you know, thinking what he was going to do in this match, and he certainly was adaptable. I loved the starting Lloyd Kelly as a center back. We thought about it. We talked about it on the pitch. I mean, sorry, on the preview, and he did it. He actually did it, and maybe this will also teach him as a young manager to say, well, I can make adjustments. I'm the boss here, and sometimes they won't work, but sometimes they will if you follow what makes common sense. And then you're gonna put the players on, and the players have to perform and back you up as a manager. And which, by the way, all players had a different attitude, in my opinion, tonight. All players, from what the attitude that I saw today from the different players, I mean, I couldn't be more happy because they literally played. In my opinion, they did it on purpose, obviously, validating and backing the manager tonight. And I believe it was on purpose, obviously. I think they should play like that every game anyway, but I thought it was a deliberate thing to do because Joe Linton at the end of the game goes and hugs Eddie Howe. Is one of the leaders of this team. And I think that it was something that they talked about in the locker room. Say, look, we might not play good, whatever, but we got to go out there and back this manager because he's taking all the bullets for us. So loved Kelly as a center back. I thought he did great defensively. He was amazing, fast and agile, going back and forth, staying in his role, which was defend. But of course, he can give you a pass as well. He can open up the play. He can actually push the attack or start the attack, not just Fabian Scher. I love the Millcraft. And Millcraft to me was on another level. And really, if you think about it, he never lost his position based on his performances. He lost his position because Fabian Scher came back. It's a center back, obviously. But today he plays a right back. He's played better than Livramento. You've got to admit he's played better than Livramento today. Livramento comes on, and I wasn't too happy with it. He didn't execute correctly the plays that he needed to. Emil Kraft was on point the whole time. Very excited for him. Man of the match, in my opinion, we're going to put up a poll in a minute, has to be Tonali. Tonali was unbelievable. Playing centered, is the king of that midfield. Is a six. I mean, we tend to say a six is a defender or defensive position. Not really, because he was there defending, helping out, but also attacking. He's an unbelievable skilled player. It's unbelievable, in my opinion. Now he's probably the most talented player we got on the pitch. Um, and to me, the man of the match. He playing center in that midfield. It was surprising, but surprisingly good. Very excited for that change in particular. Eddie Howe, another point in his favor. J7 on the left wing. When have we ever seen that? He was originally a left winger back in the day, but we haven't seen Joe Linton really in that specific role. I remember one time, where he tried Almiron on that side against Man United last season in the Carabao Cup. No, sorry, he tried somebody else, and then no, was it Almiron? And then he came up hurt. Uh, no, Joe Linton was on that position, and then somebody Target got hurt, and then Joe Linton had to come to the midfield, and so he didn't really get to play many minutes on that end. So maybe can we expect a Joe Linton on the left side? A lot of people said Gordon needs to be on the left side. Gordon on the right today. to me, played one of his best games all season. Really. I was really happy with Gordon on the right. To me, he did amazing. And turns out Eddie was right. When we bought him for right and left. He can play both. I know the Mighty Win thinks that he is only a left wing and that's where he needs to play all the time. No. Tonight, Eddie Howe proved, and obviously Gordon, because he's Eddie Howe has put, to be fair, Gordon on the right. It's just that Gordon wasn't performing. But to me today, he did amazing on those runs. At the end, he got tired. He had to be subbed off. No big deal. Alexander Isak. See, we tend to, what he does happen tonight. What he is best at happened tonight. He's a goal scorer. He's a machine. And today, cool, calm, and collected, he scored a goal like nothing. I almost felt he was offside. I almost felt Isak was offside because of the way he scored. He almost felt like he didn't mean to. And that's how talented Alexander Isak is. Cold-blooded, cool, calm, and collected. That's what he can do. He scored. He finishes dinner, as the Mighty Win said. You know, if you think about it, big chances, he had one. Today, he scored that one big chance that he had. That's 100%. We can't expect him to score 100%. We have to create more for him. And that's been the issue for me. However, tonight, he got the job done. He scored. And one of the best players on the pitch. Surprisingly enough, Osula comes onto the pitch. And surprised me. He almost scored a goal out of nowhere. Dribbling, great footwork, awesome shot with his left foot. Didn't go in. But the kid is proving that he needs time, that he wants time, that he needs it. Give him time, Eddie. Give him time because he can get it done. Give him time. Chelsea non-existent, but that's none of our problems. They had their opportunities. They didn't score. We had our opportunities. We scored. Is this a breaking point? I hope it is. We need it. We needed this break. This is the tournament that we can win, by the way. This is the tournament that we can win. And now maybe this is the breaking point to go full force for the Carabao Cup. We're going to have a lot of Giants to play for later on, so don't get too excited looking at the bigger plan. But you have every right to be excited for this match because this might mean more than just the Carabao Cup. What does this mean for us against Arsenal in the weekend? We shall wait and see. Players' different attitude, and we are very much alive. Not just literally in the Carabao Cup, but alive because we shown that we almost looked like a dead team before. Predictable. Today, we literally looked alive. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and let's get started. Let me bring in my man Gary. I'm going to put in the link right there in the chat so you guys can join and have your say. Gary, I talked a lot there, but very excited, and you have to praise when praise is due. And Eddie Howe today had a masterclass, didn't he?
Well, we said, it's all about having a go, and it needs not one person isn't going to make a change. We've seen in the past that it's classed as the also runs, if you like. But for me, it was moments of the game of being together. The system, I think, for Eddie Howe has done tonight. He's done really well. We said about the back four needs some movement, and then all of a sudden, you're looking at Kraft. Kraft is facing one of the quickest players in the league. Not Madwicky, the other one. It's got out of my head now.
Nkunku.
No. On the left hand side for them. Not Madwicky. Mudrich. Thank you. And you think, is he going to be in trouble here? Because we all look at Tino with the pace and things like that, but he didn't give the kid an actual chance. He looked so composed in the right back. Now, we've got to remember that this lad has been predominantly right centre back for a while, and he's played in a different role again today. And yes, we didn't see him very often go forward because he was committed to the task that was set out by Eddie Howe. And I think, obviously, with Hall being stuck on that left hand side, again, didn't really get forward. It was a defensive unit that stayed together. I loved the midfield today. I think that the two midfielders for me that really stood out, and like I said, it's about roles, and everybody's going to point the finger and say, "Well, Lungi didn't do a lot." Lungi played his role really well today. He was the one out of the three that sat the deepest, which allowed obviously Willock and Tonali to get into the half spaces. Tonali was like the orchestra, the conductor to the orchestra. He just moved the ball left and right. Um, you already mentioned a lot of this. I thought J7 was influential through multiple times today in nearly all the plays. We know we're very dominant on the left hand side, but what Anthony Gordon gave us today was balance. The ball wasn't just looking to go left; it went right on occasions, which seemed to run foot Chelsea a few times. I mean, if you look at our opening goal, there was a point where we should have scored, where Tonali just dinked a ball down that right hand channel. That we're all expecting it to go left hand side. They were wide open nearly all the time down their left back, our right side. So you can class it as masterclass. You can class it as luck. You need an element of both. And for me, getting the second goal was the killer blow. It allowed us then to reshape, get this 5-4-1 on the pitch, and from that, what you do then is build momentum. And none of us expected Asula to play any more than 10 minutes. Obviously, we know how Eddie Howe likes to
If that.
protect the youngsters. Yeah. Um, and seeing him come on with 30 minutes to go, and again, it's what we were saying. You can't push Isaac in every game because eventually he'll break. Was I disappointed with Asula? Not at all. He did so well holding the ball up. It linked the play between midfield and forward line. And like you said, he was so unlucky not to actually get on the score sheet right at the end. He got a lovely, lovely movement, lovely balance, left to right foot, right to left foot, and he gets a shot that strikes the outside of the post. So if you look at the whole picture, it was let's get the win, let's get the goals, and then let's just sit back and see what happens. I was just going to clap there because obviously I've just seen
Yeah.
Hell's
We've
gift.
got some donations here. I appreciate Hills Uzar obviously gifted a membership that's going to Nicholas Lindman. Thank you so much, Hills. Also, Michael McIntyre donating two pounds there. Says, "Hi all, we're going to win the cup, tune." So appreciate that, mate. Of course, lovely stuff. And you know, just talking about the cup in particular. Obviously, I don't know when the draw is going to be.
It
Maybe
could be
right now, maybe
tonight.
yeah, maybe tonight. We got to pay attention. If anybody knows anything, let us know
Yeah,
because
I'm watching it now just to make sure that we're not missing anything, buddy.
because we
At
certainly
the
need
minute,
to
we've
know.
still got Man City playing against Tottenham. They're 2-1 behind. Tottenham are winning 2-1. But like I say, that wasn't the kickoff until quarter past
Right,
eight,
right.
so it's going to go for a few minutes yet.
Yeah, I thought tonight, man. It's interesting. When you play like this, it means more than just advancing in the cup. And maybe Eddie did find some things that he wasn't aware of as far as the lineup or where certain players can play. So I thought that was great. Thank you so much, Queen of Heart, for a gifted membership. Thank you, and that has gone to I am
I am
Sheer.
Shearer.
So shout out to you, mate, and of course continue if you can renew that membership. That would help us a lot. Shout out to everybody in the chat, by the way. Please smash the like button. Very important. We're gonna go for a minute. I think we're gonna do the player scores in another stream. But we got a lot to react to, a lot to talk about. Hopefully, we get the mighty win coming from the stadium. He doesn't live long, that far from the stadium, but we'll see. Maybe he'll go for a pint after a win in a long, long time. We never know. But the link is pinned in the chat. If you want to come on and have your say, please do so. What did you think? Do you think that this? I mean, the exact same lineup. I don't know if he's going to repeat that again. As much as I don't want to, you know, talk bad about Longstaff. I thought he was there, and but clearly he's not. Bruno has to start. So, do
Mm.
you see moving forward a Tonali that will be uh, centered, or should Eddie think that way? Should he say, "Look, man, he played great, man of the match, and
I think
he
I,
needs to be a center."
Yeah, I think what we saw was somebody who needs space. He needs that space around him. Now, like we said, unfortunately, they're neither sixes or eights. They're more eights, Bruno and Tonali. And then what you get is the fact that when the two of them play together and you've got a third midfielder, there's just no space for them to do anything. And then what you get is you get Tonali drifting more on the right hand side. And it's like I said, it becomes train tracks then. And I suppose players of his quality can get a little bit sucked into, oh, I'm just going to be playing into these right hand channels. And yet today, when he's allowed that space, he's allowed to look up, he's allowed to look and play. And again, there was nothing dramatic about Tonali's play. There was no 40, 50, 60-yard balls. It was just all one touch, two touch, very simple, very direct. And as soon as there was an opportunity to for him to progress up the field, he was supporting literally in the right channels. So all the balls when we lost the ball, there was balls in and around the box, and we joked about Isak's goal, like you said. It was all winning that ball back from Tonali, and it was like a little poke through to Isak, who had the like I say, he's just got to look up and slot it into the back of the net. Um,
Hmm.
all this little movement, all these little coming together, and again, it's that want to win. We hadn't seen enough of that, unfortunately, from Bruno or Tonali when they've played alongside each other. And I think a lot of it is because it's like I say, it's just too congested in the park in the middle of the park. Because Willock is a different player to Tonali. Willock's the forward presser. He's the one that's always going to, like I said, interchange with J7 out on the left hand side, making some fantastic runs today. It moves players around, and that's what allows Tonali then to dictate play in the middle of the park. And like I say, even though he didn't do a massive amount regarding the long balls, it was orchestrated and progression of the ball was concise. Very, very rarely did it look like we were in trouble. The first couple of minutes, yes, they could have been 2-0 up. I understand that. But when the game started to move and we started to get that press as a team, once the game had settled down after about 3 minutes, it was a different game altogether. It was more composed. There was more of a team togetherness. Everybody pressed when they needed to. Everybody defended when they needed to. And if you notice today, there was very few times that they got the channel balls through us like they did at the bridge on Sunday. They did it a couple of times in the second half, where obviously Joe Felix should have scored with a quality ball that was pushed through from. What was it? Did you say it was Tosin, wasn't it? Um,
Yeah, Tosin was different. I didn't know Tosin had that in his game. By the way, he's
No, no, no. It was a quality ball, to be fair. And like I say, it was a miss, obviously, that they should have taken. But
yeah,
again, you limit the amount of chances that they do. Even though they had the possession, even though they were getting the balls into the box, they actually never looked like scoring.
yeah.
And that's the way I look. To me, it was very much like us at the bridge. We had all the possession. Well, not all of the possession, but we had all of the chances. We just never looked like taking them. Today, it looked like every time we went forward, we were putting them into trouble, and we could have scored more than two goals if we'd have just decided, like, sometimes it just looked a bit rushed, a little bit of loss of composure. But again, it's a win. And that's good for us going forward. It's good for the lads that played today. It gives them more minutes in the legs, which we'll need coming on close to December, because there's going to be a lot of changes, especially around Christmas time when we've got 4 or 5 games back to back. So for me, it was an interesting watch. Really enjoyed it as I enjoyed the bridge game. Um, and was it deserved? Well, of course it was.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I say, it just needs a little bit of luck. It needs a little bit of togetherness, and you need to believe. And the lads just looked like they believed in it today.
Yeah, man. I thought it was an unbelievable performance. I couldn't, surprisingly enough, I couldn't pick a bad thing. Obviously, Chelsea had an opportunity to score in the very beginning, but so did we right after, and we
Yeah,
didn't.
yeah.
But so you can pick that if you want to analyze, over analyze everything. You can pick things that we didn't do right eh, everywhere. But but I thought today was something that I wasn't expecting, and a lot of people
Yeah,
when they saw the lineup thought, Eddie's trying to get sacked tonight.
yeah,
Um, and I mean, to me, it's a very, very, very surprising performance. A lot of the players tonight, I can't. The attitude was different, and you cannot underestimate that. The attitude is everything, and one of the main things as well is players perform, and when players perform, it's a different thing. Willick hasn't been performing all season, and today he comes on and plays like that.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
when players,
Different attitude, isn't it? Different body
exactly.
language, the want to get up the pitch and get on the end of things, and that to me, it's chalk and cheese from what it's been like for him coming off the bench recently, and that's what I said. He has got to push himself for a starting position, and to me, the strongest midfield would be with him in it, because
Mhm.
if you had, and for me, this is what they should look at now is instead of putting Bruno on for Willock like they did today, I would look at maybe Bruno being the runner on the right hand channel and Tonali being the sitter because again he's the one that's composed. He doesn't rush things. He doesn't gamble with the majority of the balls like um, Bruno does. He he doesn't look for the challenge behind and drop to the floor and look for the free kick all the time. He's the one who will sit in the middle if he's given that opportunity to do so. And every loose ball, you can more or less comes back to feet rather than being given away because it's rushed. So I think what Eddie's done today, he's tinkered with the midfield, and what he's seen from that midfield is that players can play in different positions, and not only just play and make up the team, they actually go out there and perform in those positions. Like I say, to me, Jace Evans has been great. Wherever he's played for us, he seems to put a shift in. Doesn't matter what he tries. He wears his heart on his sleeve, and he goes out there and does the best he can. Doesn't always work, and he doesn't always have a great game, but he's a true, honest player.
Yeah.
Willock's been the opposite side. Willock's not been that type of player. He has every other game he seems to misfire a little bit, and that's why you need that little bit of quality in depth in
Hmm.
that inside left position. Because the one thing we've critiqued Eddie on in the
Yeah.
past is when Eddie has to make changes. When you pull one player off, he has to change some of the structure of the team. He didn't need to do that today, and it's seen how decent it was when it all stayed together.
Welcome, Peter. How's it going, mate?
You're right.
Happy?
Very happy. Can you hear me okay?
We hear you
Absolutely.
good,
Yeah.
brother. What do
Nice
you
one.
think?
Brilliant. Brilliant stuff. I've got a few notes here
Yeah,
written
man, go
down
on.
as I was watching it. The standout player, I think there was a few of them. But Joe Linton comes to mind. Just off the back of that match, fresh after watching that, like Joe Linton really stood out for me.
Mm,
His physicality, when he's on form, he's a beast, isn't he?
Yeah.
He really is like an imposing figure. Like he's a tank, and yeah, like I thought he was too much for Chelsea to handle in the middle there. His physicality alone was just he makes such a difference.
mm,
And I thought Longstaff, I've got down here. I thought Longstaff made some good tackles, some decent passes as well. Tonali harassed well, and I'm just so glad that that we punished Chelsea for that for that tippy tappy. You know, I've been on about that before.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just like they were playing with fire and they didn't learn and they kept doing it. And it's kind of amateurish, you know, and we need to kind of punish these teams who think that they
mm,
can just play out like that because it has crept into into the game these days where it's like acceptable. You
Hmm.
know, you'll see it again next week, you know, or in the weekend rather. You'll see teams conceding like that. And then the manager will be scratching their head thinking like, how can we stop that? But they'll just keep doing the same thing. So yeah, I'm glad that we punished them for that, and it was just brilliant to see, you know, like see them get a win again, and just see like the atmosphere sounded good. the fans getting behind the team, getting behind Eddie Howe. So yeah, it was a great night.
Certainly
Yeah.
not booing at all. I don't think there was a lot to boo, if any, to be honest, in this match.
No.
So there was no issue with that. But man, Lloyd Kelly though, Peter,
Mm.
really, really interesting.
Yeah.
Um, and some people may say, well, this is the cup team. I don't know about that. If I'm Eddie, I'm really taking a hard look because a lot of these players did perform tonight.
Mm.
So what do you think about Lloyd Kelly at center back, man, for Burn?
I think he's probably. I think he's kind of got himself in the side now. I think like, can you really drop him after that kind of performance? Because like some of the lads have said on previous shows, his pace I think really makes a difference
Mhm.
compared to what we've had. With I know I like Burton, but obviously we know he's not the fastest. So
Right.
I think Kelly now, it's his place to lose because I think Sharp played well as well tonight. To be fair, he's had a bit of a mare lately, but even he was, I think, back on form. So Shaw and Kelly could be a good partnership.
So we're gonna put up a poll for the folks. Who is the man of the match? We got Tonali, Kelly. Can we agree on Kelly putting them there, or what? The
You can
candidate. We
only
need
do four, can't you?
four candidates. So Tonali's got to be on there.
Yeah, Kraft's got to be on there.
Oh yeah,
Kraft,
Kraft was brilliant. Yeah.
Kraft's got to be on there because I think he's had an outstanding game.
Kraft. Well, you guys,
J7.
J7.
Mm.
Yeah, J7 was busy tonight. To say that Joe Willock too, man. And even I thought Gordon was great on the right.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I think where Gordon lost a little bit of the game, if I'm honest with you, is when he tried to slid the keeper and obviously he slipped on the bar. He took him out of the game. I don't know what's happened there, whether it's aggravated his groin a little bit, opened his groin up a little bit, because obviously in the week we knew he missed the game because he'd had this groin strain. He hobbled a little bit after that, and unfortunately, as the game was going on, he was getting further and further away from the game. So that's one to watch going forward because we've only got a couple of games before Arsenal. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, Gordon did have a good game. Like I said, what Gordon gave us today was balance on the right hand side and an outlet, which is something that we hadn't had. And it's not just an outlet; it's keeping hold of the ball. Um, and as daft it looks, even Isak's movement today, I don't know what it was, where because you've got runners coming in from behind and you've got J7 and Willock overlapping each other, you'd got J7 coming in round the back. I mean, obviously J7 could have got a goal. Willock could have got a goal coming in from that left hand side because we were getting deliveries from the right side, and that's something that we haven't had for a few games. Um, and it just looked a lot more balanced for me.
Yep. All right. So we need four candidates. So Tonali, Kelly, Kraft, and J7, or anybody that you guys would like to change.
To say from
Gordon. I don't know if
yeah,
Gordon was man of the match, but
Is that
no,
who got
I
it?
mean, no,
no, no, no.
I
We
haven't
still
seen who got it. To be fair,
Hmm.
well, I don't know about that, but we got our own man of the match here
Yeah.
that we do. So, but we need four candidates. So we got Tonali, Kelly, Kraft, and J7. Are we good with that?
yeah, I think so.
I think
All right.
yeah. I mean, Sean Longstaff probably is unlucky to miss out on that list
Yeah.
because again, I think because he
You
does get
rated him?
flack, doesn't he? Gets a bit
He
of
does
stick.
get a lot of flag. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and tonight he played well. He not just tackling, he made some good passes and kind of gets forgotten about, doesn't it? When he has a bad game next time, everyone kind of just goes to the extreme. Like he's either like, well, he's either really good or he's like terrible. Like let's just bear in mind he's had a good game tonight, and yeah, he's unlucky to miss out. I think for man of the match, but there was so many good players. I think tonight. I think
Mhm.
that list you've got is probably
There
the
you
one.
go.
Yeah.
And so the poll is already up, and people are voting already. So please do that. Hit the like button. Help us support the channel. Do that, please. Hit the like button. Also, just letting you know, we have limited the ads on the shows. So the only way you can help us out is donating by via super chat, via super sticker, gifting memberships away, or becoming a member yourself. So if you can, please do that. Journey to for life. How in? Well, I mean, I was always how in anyway. So, but I think most of us here, were how in anyway. But a lot of people have been saying how out, and still, even in the chat and the watch along, people were saying out. But you can't please everybody. But today, I thought he understood what needed to be done. And look, ultimately, as a manager, though, it could have went wrong. You
Mm.
never know because even with the same lineup, they had a chance to score Mudrik. I think it was in the first minute. I think, and if that goes in, maybe this is a different game. And so it's also about the circumstances. But I thought overall it was an Eddie Howe masterclass. I put it as that. Because I never thought I actually disagreed and maybe criticized um, certainly Longstaff coming in from Bruno. I'm not gonna lie because Bruno is the better player, and I thought this is the Carabao Cup where we can win it. So have the best player on the pitch. But now that Tonali is centered, the problem is we got to place um, um, Bruno somewhere, and maybe he can do it on the right. He when he came on though, Bruno was good as well.
No, he was.
Uh, so that's the thing though. Maybe the difference is the players played. Maybe that's
Yeah.
the difference. So it's interesting. Jordan here says, Chris, are you doing the cup draw? And after today, Tonali has to be the sixth row. He's had the pace to track back. No, well, I mean, I don't even know about the cup draw. Like when it is. I thought it's now. Isn't it now
It's
or
still you're still waiting.
oh because of the
It,
matches
it,
because of the match.
yeah, it will happen, but obviously with
That
Tottenham
because the
only
match
and
is
Man
going
City
on.
just finishing, it will
I
happen.
I think those are like even I don't know what channel streams. I don't know, but no, we won't do it. But we'll just know. Look, at the end of the day, I could care less what other teams play against. As long as Newcastle, we know about Newcastle. The stream is over. So what options do we got though? What options could be we could play against in the cup? Actually, I could look it up because that'll be interesting. I mean, teams
So
are
the teams that are still in, obviously, all very big teams.
well.
Arsenal, Tottenham, Brighton, Man U. Other
No, Man U lost again. Oh no, they won. Sorry,
no,
they
they won
beat
5-2.
Leicester.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace, interesting. They beat
Crystal Palace. Yeah,
Villa.
and us.
And Man
So
City.
that's it.
No, it's already full time. Tottenham
Tottenham won
beats
2-1.
yeah, so 2-1.
Mm.
So I mean, but at this point, man, you're gonna have to play against the tougher teams now. It is what it is. So,
Yeah,
but
and
play.
you've got Brentford from last night as well. So
There you
you've
go.
I mean, there's still teams out there that you want to be. You certainly would like to get in the quarterfinals that aren't the bigger teams, just to let us go through a little bit more, especially at home. But to be fair, when you get to these stages, quarterfinals, semi-finals, you know you're going to be facing some really really good sides, and we just need to go and play like we did today and be together. And I think on our day we can beat anybody.
Yeah, that's interesting. Osula coming on and really showing he doesn't care, man. Just give him the ball and he'll try to. He got mad about Livramento. He told him off.
Mm.
He
Yeah.
told him off in that play. So a lot of personality from that lad as well. Man, he needs time, doesn't he, Peter? What do you think about Osula?
I was loving it. It was like
Yeah,
a joy to see, like having a striker up there who was getting stuck in. He was busy, like you say, he was putting himself about. It was a different kind of way of playing that obviously we've seen from what we've seen from Isaac. It was so good to see, and you could see that he was so enthusiastic. He was really trying to impress, and he was wanting to show what he's got. And I love that he took that shot on at the edge of the box and hit the post. I was hoping he would do that because some players might have just passed that, but he was so keen to get on the score sheet. I think, and I think he's showed enough tonight to say to Eddie Howe, like, look, if you need us, I'm ready and
really?
I'm
waiting.
ready.
I can come on and make a difference. So hopefully, maybe you gets more minutes now going forwards.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Thank you so much, Michael McIntyre. Thank you so much for that. Says hi. Hope it helps. Tune. Thank you, mate. Appreciate that. Of course, it helps. Any donation help us support the channel. Let us be says. Let us be. Let us be. Oh wow, that's a good one. I think he did it on purpose. I respect your
Yeah.
opinions, Harpo. You're wrong. I guess Harpo is saying something. Um, all right, you know what? Let's go with some comments. People want to have their say. So Jake here says, "Give me Spurs at home." Yeah, but how does that home thing? Is that a now? Are we going to play away now, or does it matter?
No, it
Uh,
doesn't matter. It's how you come
it,
out the draw. You've got
okay,
teams at home. The
okay,
first
gotcha.
picked out of the hat will be at home. the second ball will be away.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So let's go with the star comments here. Davey T. Our present tonight was first rate, especially first
Was
half. Good response from all players. So there you go. Sorry if you hear my little kid. He's playing around in the background. Hilzazar Osula looks like he's 25, man. Kelly, and what a player. 9 out of 10 for me, Kelly. Kelly saved our butts
yeah.
plenty of times. Plenty of times. And when you got used to watching that in the game, Burn comes on, and unfortunately, you can see this. It's like singing after Sinatra, man. You know, it's hard to do that, and unfortunately, that may be the Burn sub, which I think he's a great sub, coming a great squad player. But you got to do what's best for the team, and I thought Kelly tonight proved his worth. So
I
James
was a
Cuff,
bit surprised that when
yeah,
Burn came on, I thought he would put Burn left back and just not disrupt the centre
yeah,
half pairing. But
that would
we
have
got
been
away
crazy.
with it. It was all right.
Yeah. No, that would have been crazy. Um, all right. So James Cuff says Kraft man of the match for me. Kraft was very good, but that probably is going to be a bit tough for Eddie, because I think there's a thing about Livermento from maybe from Eddie or from the fans as well, that has some kind of a trust for Livermento, that he is that young star coming up, and maybe that's go. But at the end of the day, man, Livermento came on today and he was not sharp. He was not sharp. Um, and again, we talk about that Asula play. He was not sharp on his executions, on his crosses. So I wonder what Eddie would do. I mean, these are a lot of changes. I don't think I've ever seen Eddie Howe make these amount of changes before.
Well, he has when he's been chasing the game, but like I say, the problem is when you're chasing the game, you make so many changes with personnel, then it's positional changes. And as we've seen in the past, sometimes that can go against you because it takes you a while to get used to your new position. So you lose momentum when you're having to change personnel and position. Today, when you go body for body, and even when Bruno comes on, the superstar in a lot of people's eyes, he goes man for where Willock comes off. So we don't shuffle the pack a little bit and try and move players around to fill the void. He goes man for man, and it kept the shape. Everybody knew their position. Everybody knew their role. Still, there wasn't too much jiggering around. And the only time, if you remember, and you've just linked it up there, when we did make some errors, some unforced errors from Tosin's ball, if you have a look, there was a couple. Of Shaw was talking to Eddie on the touchline. Shaw was talking to Kraft. He was trying to find out who's doing what role, and it was from that position there where you know Byrne then goes too tight. Joe Felix goes on a little bit of a run, then runs round the back of him, so it's like an arced run. And unfortunately, Byrne then has to make a decision. I have to just cut the ball out because I'm not going to keep up with the pace of him. And that's the like I said, that's where we become a little bit on the dodgy side. When you start making wholesale changes, you have to allow the boys to get involved in the game before you make others, because you just create too many passing channels for the opposition to get into.
Right. Um, where's Tim at, man?
I'm not sure. What's up? Where is he? No,
Wait,
have to get him on.
you're not Tim, are you?
Nah, nah. No,
Because
don't worry.
that laugh made me think. Wait a minute, what if they're playing a trick on me? Because I'm
Yeah,
like,
you're getting
Yeah,
deja vu.
yeah.
see,
Everybody in the chat says when he come on, that was
oh,
Tim. That's Tim. That is.
oh, the comment, it was right here. We got a comment from Tim. You have to praise Longstaff. Wait, you said praise Longstaff as well.
Well, great
On
minds think alike, isn't it?
He did brilliantly. Kelly, very good. Kraft was quality and rarely lets us down. He deserves big recognition tonight. First time pass is very good, and Osula, great impact. So there you go. And also, he says Gordon showed he can play right wing and has the attributes to use his pace down that side. Yeah, he did. He did amazing. He got tired though, but that's all right. I mean, he had to come off. Paul in here saying better from the lads on the pitch and from Eddie too. There you go. Jordy Dan says Lewis Hall and Kelly absolutely bossing the defense. Shar even had a few great tackles. Yes, he did actually. Yeah,
It did.
so much
Quality
to be
tackle.
positive about. Oh, and give Osula game time. There you go. A lot of stuff, man. People are happy. Yeah, I'm telling you, this is a good performance. Davey Kelly was good and nice to see Osula looked handy. Helsuzar Kelly saved our bacon at least 3 times. Yep, that is also factual. Um, Let me see. Beer Reich and Joe Linton was a real leader out there tonight. Joe Linton as well, and being on the left side, I didn't think that he could really make those runs back as often as he did tonight. Um, but did you see that? Did you guys like the overlap, the Willock overlap, constantly on that left side, and Joe Linton using that as well. I thought it was great. What do you guys think about that?
I thought it was, like I said,
Yeah, yeah.
I thought it was outstanding individual performances all over the park today.
Mhm.
I mean, I love the run from Willock where he picked the ball up literally from 30 yards out, went out onto the outside and just kept running. And I'm thinking he's never going to go
Mhm.
all the way. And he just kept running and running and running. And even runs like that just alleviate the pressure. And it just gives you that little bit of an outward mark. So everybody can step up a little bit. Everybody can get their composure again, ready for the next wave of attack. So, like I said, everybody individually did something really well today. And I've just looked at Tiger's comments there when he was saying, "Listen, boys, it's only Chelsea's B team that cost £400 million, by the way." Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, I know it's only Chelsea's B team that we've beaten today, but if you put pen to paper, there was a lot of our B players on there as well.
We can't complain if we beat. If we can't complain when we lose, can't do the same when you win.
Yeah, that's right.
Especially like this. I have criticized when we beat Wolves per se, because Harvey Barnes won the game. That wasn't a team thing. I've criticized many of those performances from the beginning of the season, but tonight we played great. As simple as that. You've got to be able to maintain an objective thought. If not, then your opinions are all doesn't matter. That's the fact. Because if you're gonna just say the same thing over and over and over, just because without being able to back it up, because the guys played great on the pitch, man. It may not. Obviously, I'm not going to be saying that we're going to win the league, obviously, but or even the Carabao Cup.
You
But
can only
tonight was
play
a great performance.
what's in front of you. So,
Yeah, you can
Absolutely.
only one at a
you know,
time, one at a time. But what do you think about the Willock and Joe Linton, Peter? That those
I thought
two duo.
I think, yeah, Joe Willock, the way he played, it reminded me a little bit of how he was in that season when we got fourth. Just flashes of that kind of, like Gary said, like getting us up the pitch with those runs. No one else can really do that, I don't think, from midfield. I mean, obviously Gordon and Barnes, but in terms of Willock, he's more, I think, more flexible because he can play centre as well. I mean, I think there's more, obviously more to come from him, and I know Gary. I've heard you've kind of seen him this season, thinking he's not kind of his body language wasn't very good, and is his heart still in it? But I think he's up for it. Honestly, I think he's probably just wanting to get his place back in the team, and like the rest of them, he hasn't been great so far the season up until now. But back on form tonight, I think his heart's in it, and it was just great to see him like kind of showing that kind of form that we know he's capable of. So, yeah, I think Eddie's got maybe a few things to think about now. Who does he actually drop? Who does he and bring in for the next match? Because I know it was only the like the fan said there about the B team, but with Chelsea, but we've got momentum now, and these players have got confidence now.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's it's over to Eddie now to do what he's going to do. But no, I think thumbs up for Willock. He was really good.
Yeah, now he's getting into a predicament, don't he? Because I mean, you got to play Bruno though. I think Bruno is. You got to have that talent on the pitch. Um, I mean, I think Harvey Barnes will suffer from this. So I think he may maintain Bruno on the right, Tonali in the middle, Willock on the left, and then Joe Linton as a left wing and Gordon on the right, and just basically do that. Just switch
Mhm.
Longstaff. I think that might be. And Harvey Barnes is going to suffer, of course, but you know, when the team is performing, there's nothing really you can say about it. So All right, let's move on with the chats. PDK, that could be down to a player they can trust on the right. Not sure what he was responding there. Paul N says by changing it around with a different setup, the opposition didn't know what we were doing. Yeah, because we were using the left and right. That we're using Gordon, we were using Joe Linton. So we were unpredictable. And before it was just the same thing. Gordon on the left, trying to do something for Isak. And Beer Bike in the chat mentioned obviously he doesn't like Murphy, but maybe that was the issue. Murphy or Almiron, because they don't do anything on the right, and so the other teams are like, well, we can't. There's no threat on the right, so we just got to focus on the left. That's their main thing. So tonight we were all over the place. So that was pretty good. Stephen Harker here says we had speed in the back line and it showed. Yep, with Shar and Kelly. I think that's going to be the biggest adjustments, aside from Tonali, of course, maybe in the middle, is bringing in Kelly. I thought that he literally, um, yeah. I mean, he got the start. He got the start.
Lewis Hall was up for it as well. He was putting in some good
Yeah,
tackles.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
He
yeah.
made he
Good.
made a few errors today though, Louis Hall,
Moving
and I
forward,
think
maybe.
he was under a little bit more pressure because of the speed of the lads that he was facing,
Mm.
and it pinned him back a little bit, put him under a bit more pressure. But he's usually flowing down that wing, um, and taking a gamble if you like, and didn't see that much of him tonight. And maybe that was also tasked because you'd got Willock, and we know Willock and J7 have a lovely way of working together when it's on song, and it was on song today. What I loved was the fact that we pressed as a team, and that's where our first goal come from. It was just that pressing as a team, and instead of doing it half-heartedly, we were actually pressing and stopping the passing channels. If you have a look at Chelsea at the bridge, we were actually behind the players, where today we were very much side on. So the keeper couldn't pass the ball through the channels to the midfielders. It was it was such a better way of attacking from their deep positions. And like I say, you put them under pressure, they'll make mistakes. It made a mistake. The ball deflects out to with J7 to Tonali. Tonali nudges the ball forward into space, and again, it's like Isak's got the whole of SJP to pick from. Um, and it's moments like that where you get frustrated when we are not doing the basics right. And to me, the identity was back tonight, and I think that's what we've been missing: getting the ball back the field as we possibly can, blocking those passing channels, and working as a unit. It's all that. It's all about unity. And
Mm,
I mean, you can, they had eight internationals on the field today, so you're not playing against a lesser team. It's a case of and Pete said exactly the same. Just you can only play the 11 in front of you, and Chelsea was a good 11. It makes no difference who they put on the park. The problem is their second 11 don't quite gel the same as the first 11, and we've seen that they're a good conference side, but when you're playing at SJP, it certainly isn't the Conference League.
yeah, yeah. No, I agree. I agree with that. David T, our pressing tonight was first rate, especially first half. Good response from all the players. Says David T. Davey says Eddie House job safe until Arsenal. There you go. Well, it's one game at a time, isn't it? But would you guys start the same starting 11?
It certainly makes you think now, and it makes anything.
Mm.
And this is all you've asked for, isn't it? You want the lads who were bench warmers to perform when they've got the opportunity to actually make Eddie choose a team. Where before, even for us as non-managers, we're just fans, and you can virtually pick the team week in, week out. It's like Saturday's team, there's going to be a lot more of a choice for him to pick from.
Yeah,
What do you think, Peter? What would you do?
yeah. That's the thing, because I guess he will bring in Bruno, won't he?
Yeah,
I'd
yeah, yeah.
imagine he's not going to keep Bruno on the bench, but
Well, he's the captain, so yeah.
yeah. Um, it's funny, isn't it, when you think back when we first signed Bruno, he couldn't get in the team, could he? Because we were doing so well, and you had to wait and be patient. But yeah, I think he'll put him back in. He was a joy to watch. Like when he came on as a sub tonight, Bruno, you could see he showed his class. But I wouldn't, in a way, I wouldn't want to be in his shoes, Eddie Howe, and have to tell any of these players that dropped, because, like I say, I mean, again, going back to Longstaff, he gets all this stick, but done the job tonight. Tackled well, passed well. He's got the lungs. He gets around. He covers the grass. He covers the pitch so well when he's tracking back Chelsea players darting into the box, and he's on top of them. So you could argue he should be kept in, but I guess Eddie Howe will also look at Arsenal and he'll think, well, which players are best suited against the Arsenal team?
Right, the draw's just about to start, boys.
Yeah.
I just hope it's a. I don't want to. Nah, I just hope it's a home draw.
So
What would it be?
Newcastle are number 6.
Where do you watch that at, man?
So at the minute you've got Brentford ball 1, Southampton ball 2, Crystal Palace ball 3, Liverpool ball 4, Man United ball 5, Newcastle 6, Arsenal 7, Tottenham 8.
So there you go.
So
I guess we can stay on until we know who Newcastle's team will be to face.
So Tottenham at home.
Tottenham at home. That's the team.
That's the first one that's been pulled out.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying. Where are we at?
So Tottenham versus Man United is the first one they've pulled.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes. Love it. Let them kill each other, man. Let them kill each other.
Exactly. Come on.
I would probably
Number
want
7,
Man United.
and that's Arsenal at home versus number 3, Crystal Palace.
Wow, that's an interesting one for them.
And yeah, we're at home, boys. This is
Yes.
Newcastle at home.
Newcastle at home. I like it.
Come on.
Who we playing?
Brentford.
Brentford
at home.
I'll take that.
Take that any day of the week.
What a day.
That's it.
What a day.
What a day for us, man. Well, I mean, Brentford
Nice.
fans are going to be fuming a bit, but
And the last one is Southampton at home. And that's for Liverpool. Southampton versus Liverpool is the last one of the draw. So I would have chose Brentford or Southampton, if I'm honest with you, at SJP. So I'm more than happy with that.
hey,
Totally.
yeah, man. Good
Totally.
stuff. Good stuff,
That's class. I mean, after all those draws we were getting last season as well,
Yeah.
away from home.
Away
all the
from home.
time. Aye.
Yeah.
All right. Well, look, I have to do trick and treating with the kids at school. So
Same.
So we
Well,
gotta do
not
stuff.
trick or treat.
No,
Mine's
but
going to
we
be
got
tomorrow.
stuff to do.
The door's
Yeah.
going to be banging entirely
Exactly.
tomorrow night.
But listen, we've had a great day. Good game, obviously. Nothing, really more to say. I mean, it's going to be interesting what we're going to do with the lineup, with the changes. Are we going to implement them against Arsenal? That'll probably be a great discussion. By the way, tomorrow we have the match preview at 6. Midday for you. No, actually 11 a.m. Sorry, 11 a.m. Because the Mighty Wayne won't be able to do it at night. So he wants the quiz. He cares about the quiz more than the channel, man. So, but we'll just put it tomorrow at 11 a.m. UK doing the match preview for Arsenal. So stay tuned. Tonight is Wednesday, so American Mags at 1 a.m. UK tomorrow. I guess tomorrow. So if you're up and about, American Mags with Josh tonight. So I'm sure he'll be taking a look at the game as well, giving his opinion on it. But thank you so much for that. And David T says, I thought you had a mask already, Chris. Mask early. Yeah, there you go. But anyways, it's been great. Thank you so much, Peter. Thank you, Gary. And we will be
Thanks,
back,
everybody.
of course, tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. UK. So stay tuned.
Cheers, lads.
And
Away
we'll
the
see you.
lads!
How are the lads,
Come
folks?
on!
Bye bye.